What does justice really look like through the eyes of God? Not the kind we see trending on social media,
not the fleeting headlines or reactive politics,
but a justice rooted in eternity, born from the very heart of our Creator. Psalm 94-19 reminds us, "In the multitude of my thoughts within me, thy comforts delight my soul." That verse shows us something powerful. God isn't distant from the world's pain. He's deeply concerned about the people who live in it. He sees every injustice, every tear, every forgotten name, and because he is both the God of salvation and the God of creation, he calls his church, you and me, to rise. Throughout history, believers have responded to the world in different ways. Some have withdrawn, others have stood in tension with culture, and still others have chosen to take responsibility, to stand, to serve, and to transform. And that's exactly what the church was created to do. We are not the kingdom of God, but we are the agents of it, the representatives of a holy and just God in a hurting and unjust world. We don't get to choose between gospel and justice, between truth and mercy. We are called to embody both. As 1 Corinthians 4:20 says, "The kingdom of God is not in word,
but in power." That means we don't just speak truth, we live it, we display it. We become evidence of God's rule in a world longing for hope. And that starts with understanding who our God truly is. He is the God of all nature, not just our salvation. He is the God of creation and covenant, of justice and justification. He is the God who cares not only for souls but for systems, for cities, for people living under the weight of brokenness. And if we're going to reflect him, then we must reflect his concerns. So how do we do that? First, we must define our role. The church is in the world, but not of it. That's not a slogan, it's a sacred position. We live here with purpose, and that purpose is to announce freedom, express God's wholeness, and stand boldly for his justice. Second, we must understand the world we're sent into. The Bible often uses the Greek word cosmos to describe the world system. It speaks of order, structure, even beauty. But within that structure are fallen patterns, twisted beliefs, and corrupt systems. The church must navigate it with truth, not fear, with grace, not compromise. And third, we must remember this: God's heart beats for justice, God's hands move with mercy, and God's people, his church, must reflect both. Micah 6-8 says, "He has shown you, O man, what is good, and what does the Lord require of you? To do justice, love mercy, and walk humbly with your God." This isn't optional. It's the first word in understanding our mission, the foundation for every act of compassion, the prologue to everything we preach. We are kingdom agents, not just saved to sit in pews, but called to rise in love, to be ministers of mercy. And not just some of us, all of us. Every believer is called to a personal ministry of compassion. Every Christian is assigned a mission of mercy. So wherever you are today, whether in the city or the countryside, whether in leadership or in the shadows, this is your call. Step into justice. Live out mercy. Let the kingdom of God be seen through your life, because the God of salvation is also the God of creation. The God of covenant is also the God of the city. And the church, your church, is his witness to the world. Let justice roll down like waters, and let it start with you.